But please put your hands together and welcome to the stage the legendary George Price.
Thank you, Sean. Right off the bat, you people have to know it's way past my bedtime. Usually about this time of night I'm on my second piss. Sean told me I'd like you to come out tonight and do some comedy, maybe do 20 minutes. I said, fuck, I don't plan that far ahead. Did a show a few weeks ago. A lady came up to me after the show. She said, you know, I admire you. I said, why the fuck that? She said, well, you do your comedy like Bill Cosby. You do it sitting down. That's how Bill Cosby did his comedy, sitting down. I said, are you a Bill Cosby fan? She said, yes, I am. I said, well, let me buy you a drink. I'm going to see her again in 3 weeks when I go to court. A lot of people look at me and say, hey, you look like George Carlin. Well, yeah, I do. And it used to be fun. When I first started looking like George Carlin, I thought it was a novelty. People coming up thinking I'm that great celebrity. But after a while, it gets on your fucking nerves. Everybody coming up, can I have your autograph, George? I did say I'm not him. They don't fucking believe you. And they push you on it and push you on it. Well, it gets on your nerves. And it finally got to the point where people come up to me and say, Mr. Carlin, can I have your autograph? I looked them straight in the eye, said, fuck off. I think George lost a lot of fans that month. But I toured all over Canada. Like Sean said, I've been all over the place. I was up in northern Saskatchewan, and this native woman stopped at a red light, and it was North Albersford, some fucking place up there. And this native lady knocks on the window of my car, and she says, if you give me a ride to the liquor store, I'll give you a blowjob. Well, of course, I said, get in. So she's doing what she said, because she's a woman of her word. And I'm getting a bit excited, so I put my hand down on her head, and she said, you're passionate. I said, well, thank you very much. She said, no, asshole, the liquor store, you're passionate. It's kind of funny. But I toured all over Canada. I went up to British Columbia, and I was out there. I went to a place called Wreck Beach. Anybody heard of it? You been there? Yeah, I didn't recognize you. The clothes on. It's a nudist beach. But to get there, back me up, fella. To get there, you got to go down like about 500 steps. But you can buy drugs, booze, food, hot jewelry, you name it, you can fucking buy it there. Because cops don't go there. They don't want to have to walk back up them 500 fucking steps. Now I'm down there for about 3 hours, and I'm getting completely tanned. Ladies, we're talking completely. I put sunblock in Mr. Twinkie. Got excited, now I'm walking down the beach pointing at people. Now it's time to go back up 500 fucking steps. I got about a quarter of the way up, took a break, smoked a joint. Got halfway up, took another break, ate some magic mushrooms. 3/4 way up, took my last break, dropped some acid. I got to the top, I was out of dope, so I went back down. And I bought a hot dog off a naked man. Well, I got it munchies. Then I went into Edmonton, Alberta. I was in there and I went to the West Edmonton Mall. They got a ride there called the Drop of Doom. 14 floors high, and you drop straight down. I found out what my nuts taste like. I went on 5 more times. Then I went home and licked my dog's face. Then I went to Saskatchewan, no shit, played in a town called Climax. It's on Highway 1, I'm driving along, there's a sign, 30 miles to Climax. I got there 15 miles early. Kind of a premature arrival, I guess. Then I met my second fling on the road. I'm going to call it a fling because that's what it was. And this woman took me back to her place. It was in Regina. And I hadn't had sex in a while, so I didn't care what she looked like. Obviously. But we go back to her place, and I'm giving her everything I got. Sweat is rolling up my back. I'm plowing her like crazy. She says, deeper. I said, what? She said, deeper. I said, fuck, you don't hear me saying tighter. I love all those guys that are laughing. Have no idea what tight means. And I am your host tonight, Sean. How about a hand for him one more time? What a great job. You know, Sean, I'll never forget. Sean is a funny guy. Not only is he funny, he's very friendly. I'll never forget the first day I met Sean. The very first day, he asked me for a drive to the liquor store. I'm only kidding. He was driving.
Gas money.
What's that?
And gas money.
I didn't hear your assholes talking. You know, I look at you, and now I know why some animals eat their young. I was in Calgary. I was lucky enough to be in Calgary the year they had the Olympics, 1988. I was in Calgary, went to the Olympics. And you know, during the Olympics we watched shit that we normally would never watch. Like the luge. Here's a sport. Guys going down a hill 90 miles an hour, balls first. What's wrong with this picture? You wipe out, you're singing soprano. You're yelling for help, only fucking dogs can hear you. And the two-man luge, one guy on top of another. Where'd they get that one? San Francisco? Jamaicans had a bobsled team. How do you think they figured that out? Hey man, let's go smoking. Let's go skiing. Like they go down the hill, 2 of them forgot to even get in. Ew! Ew! No wonder they fucking flipped. And they have the biathlon. Here's a sport where you ski and shoot. Where does that come in handy? You go up to the hill some weekend, there's too many people. Fuck, that was quick and I got 4 people. A lot of people ask me how you become a comedian. And for me, it started out as a kid in school. It was my job to fuck up the teacher. I used to say things to her like, wonton spelled backwards is not now. A motel spelled backwards is let 'em. Air raid backwards is diarrhea. Lesbian backwards is impossible. lesbians here tonight? I like lesbians. I don't know why, I just do. I got a thing for them. How about any gay people? Any fags? Oh, you can't say that word now, I forgot. You say that word now, you gotta get 2 days suspension. If you're a ball player. Of course, you're playing with your balls, you probably are one. Somebody agreed. Holy fuck. So anyhow, the teacher says to me, you know, George, there's no time in your life you'll ever use a sentence that has every letter in the alphabet. I said, not only will I do that, the next word in my sentence will begin with the next letter in your alphabet. All the way from A to Z. 26 words, 26 letters in order. She said, you do that, I'll give you the day off. Well, I thought about it. This is what I come up with. Always be careful during erections, for girls have interesting job knowledge, leaving most normal open passages quite restricted, since testicles usually vary when x-rayed, you're zapped. She said, that's pretty good. You think you can do that backwards? Zoom your x-rays. Willing virgins usually take sincere romance quite personally. Only now, man looks kinky, just in case he's got feelings. Even Don Juans can be assholes. And she never gave me the day off. She sent me down to principal. He says, George, there's not much between you and an idiot, is there? I said, just your desk. Any Americans here?
No.
Okay, let's talk about them. Don't get me wrong, we need Americans. If we didn't have them, our neighbors could be Mexicans. Can you imagine a National Hockey League then? Goal scored by number 15, Pepe Rodriguez. And you could never flood the end. You'd have to always Zamboni be up on blocks all the fucking time. Mexicans stole the fucking tires again, man. But I love when I go to the States. When I go down there, they'll say to me, you're a Canadian. Say A. Canadians always say A. Say A. I say, fuck you. I named your country. U.S. A. Then give them a loony and watch them try to peel it off and get to the chocolate. So anyhow, I'm still traveling across Canada, and I finally came to Newfoundland. And when I got here, I stayed. Thank you very much. God bless you all.